Well, what's wrong with the alternative media, quote unquote alternative media? You know, it seems like they always have a knee-jerk reaction to always side with Russia or China on every issue there is. Like they're a better alternative than the United States of America. Now, I'm just stating like what is a fact. Even though we got, you know, elitists in the United States, we got corruption in the government in the United States. You know, it's been recognized by the founding fathers of the United States that these things will always exist, but we have the tools to correct the problems. It's just that most Americans are too lazy, lethargic to even bother voting. You know, that's really what the problem is you know, summed up. But let me put it to you this way too. You know, if you was to try to open up an alternative media channel in China or Russia and criticize the powers that be and criticize the Chinese elite or criticize Vladimir Putin, you'd be history. You'd be done. You know, you can't even poke fun at their leaders. Like we poke fun and there's caricatures of President Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, Ford, Reagan, everybody out there, you know what I mean? And there's no repercussions for that stuff. Now, this latest thing that happened with the airline with 298 people, you know, this might be old news if somebody's looking at it next year, but it's a case in point of how the alternative media knee-jerk reactions are. In Ukraine, the Malaysian airliner that was flying over to Ukraine that was shot down, they think it possibly was Russian separatists, but I know, like, I can actually possibly think in the back of my mind there could be a conspiracy involved there, but the alternative media immediately put up a conspiracy that it was an attempt on Vladimir Putin's life because he's against the New World Order. And I was like, wow. And it's the same group, the same bunch of people. I'm not going to name names, but I'm like, get real. Vladimir Putin is in with them. He banks with them. He's all connected with that. The Swiss trading house, the Cyprus registered companies, blah, blah, blah. You know, I think they were trying to put out some, you know, I think the BBC even wanted to put out something on Vladimir Putin where maybe he has alleged mafia connections, but, you know, I'll just state it flat out. The whole Russian state is the organized crime. It is. And he's the visible guy you see. So the alternative media doesn't do anything except go lockstep, siding with these people. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, if you're going to be critical of the U.S. elitists and the corruption that's going on here, I don't know why these people are going over and saying Vladimir Putin and the Chinese elite are a bunch of saints. It's ludicrous. But anyway, there's like, even this event actually that occurred with the 298 people that were killed on a Malaysian airline that was shot down over to Ukraine. You know, it could be. Now, I'm going to say something, but it's all conjecture. I mean, I don't know this for a fact. But what I was looking at was that I think they were trying to get, you know, the Western powers were trying to get Vladimir Putin to bite on invading Ukraine. This is conjecture now. And when he does that, the U.S. and Israel would move against Iran and Syria. You know, now the situation's gotten much more complicated over there. Seems like the U.S. is kind of siding with Iran and Syria because of ISIS in Iraq. And, you know, actually I think the game is just to foster as much turmoil as possible to reduce the population over there. And, you know, that might be what they're doing, you know. Really maybe what the elite, the real guys on the top are doing. But this event with the Malaysian airline, so I'm going to present something that maybe is a conspiracy theory, but maybe down a different line, because I just want to state though, the Russian elite and the Chinese elite are not a better alternative than being in the United States. There's no doubt about that. The main problem with the United States is the lethargic citizens that aren't using the tools to correct any problems that occur. It's the first time it's the first time in humanity that people actually had the power to correct a situation, and too many people are sitting back on their asses, not doing nothing about it, or just following giddy rumors that are totally ludicrous. But just to throw one out there that could be, it's conjecture, but it might be an accurate type of conspiracy theory, if you want to put it that way. This plane, when I start thinking about, remember the Maine led to a war. The sinking of the Lusitania led to World War I. And remember the Maine led to the Spanish-American War in 1898. Pearl Harbor led to World War II. Gulf of Tonkin led to Vietnam War. So within all those things, you can definitely find solid fact to find not a real conspiracy and manipulation to involve us in wars, or what led us into those wars were not actually what people thought it was, the incident was on the surface. The case even Pearl Harbor, I even knew about from a professor of mine back in 1972, way before Senator Guy Gillette wrote his book None Dare Call Infamy in 1984 about, FDR knowing about the attack was likely to come about on Pearl Harbor, and anyway, I won't dwell on that, but it looks like I thought that the West was trying to draw Vladimir Putin into a conflict in the Ukraine for a specific goal. And now that this airline has been shot down, tensions in the Ukraine are going to skyrocket a great deal. No doubt about it. There's even headlines out there that Putin shot down the plane or something. It's like, he didn't shoot down a plane. I'm not going to say that. There's even headlines out there that say, or there's other politicians, important politicians, that are stating it's Obama's fault. It's not Obama's fault. It could be something that was done. You never know. It could have been done by some covert element in the West, but that's pure conjecture on my part. I don't know this. It could be. Because I think they were trying to draw Vladimir Putin into a conflict in Ukraine. But that's pure conjecture. I don't know this. It could be. How would I be able to prove that? No. But I see it as a possibility. Just looking back, remember the Maine, Lusitania, Pearl Harbor, Gulf of Tonkin, right? So it's not out of the realm of possibility. But it's, and the other thing is, I think the West, there's elements in the West that wanted Vladimir Putin to draw him into a conflict with Ukraine, because it's going to help divert Russia's attention over there while the U.S. is able to act in the Middle East. It may be. I don't know this. I'm doing this as conjecture. So if that's the case, you never know what could have happened with this deal. Also there was supposedly, now they're saying there's at least one American citizen that was a dual citizen on the plane. I read there was 23 American citizens on the plane. So then it becomes an event. I don't want to compare it to the Lusitania, because I know the sinking of the Lusitania was I know what it turned out to be. An event that was to get us into World War I. Now, I'm not saying World War III here right away or nothing, but it could be that, like I said, it's pure conjecture, but it could be that it's something to draw Russia or Putin into a bigger conflict, because what's going to happen now with this shooting down of the airline, the Ukrainian government is going to actually say we need more control over the Russian separatists, and it's going to allow the U.S. to have a reason to back the Ukrainian government against the Russian separatists because of this event. like I said, it's pure conjecture, but, and you know, I'm not exactly against, you know, I shouldn't be actually revealing this or putting this out because I'm not really against our guys and our planners on the top. I'm not. You know, people are gonna freaking thumbs down me on that deal, but I'm actually not. I'm not, because I realize, you know, you have to play this kind of, well, it's evil, but I think the Vladimir Putin and the Chinese elite are far more evil. That's what I think. But I could pretty much figure there may be a conspiracy involved in here after all, but it's something that the major media and the alternative media is not, neither one are picking up on at all. How's that? So, but my major beef with the alternative media is they don't just, they are totally hands off on anything that goes on in Russia or China, and they only criticize the United States and the West in general. That's all they do. And if they were over in if they were over in Russia or China and they were like criticizing the elite over there, they'd be done inside of maybe 24 hours. That's how long it would take. There wouldn't be any criticism. So I don't know where these people are coming off with this garbage, because they, you know, I really I'm neither on the side of the major media or the alternative media, but you know, I have to realize that it could be some shrewd games going on here, maybe some dirty games going on, but I'm not 110% sure. I'm not 110% sure. But, like, say, for instance, it turns out that it's probably pretty solid information that some intelligence operation caused this plane to come down to draw Putin into the war in Ukraine. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It could be a Russian separatist too. But to tell you the truth, in my mind, I got my suspicions big time that it may not be. It may not be. Tell you the truth, I wish I was running some of the intelligence stuff in the United States, because I think I'm shrewder than those guys, man. Because I don't like Vladimir Putin. I don't like the Chinese elite. I'm pro-USA, but I think I got better tricks up my sleeve than, because some of the stuff, I don't know if, you know, it's conjecture on my part, but it may be that some element in the West caused this to happen. Maybe some intelligent, it may be. It's real conjecture on my part. But looking at, they were trying to get Vladimir Putin more involved in Ukraine, and now that you have the U.S. can back the Ukrainian government out of this, and you know, they could give them more free reign in the Middle East on policy. Not sure, man. Not sure. But like I said, that's pure conjecture. It's pure conjecture. I shouldn't really be putting this out because, you know, it's probably going to fan the fires of speculation. And like I have to say, that's pure speculation, because I really don't have nothing to go on other than instinct and hunch. But my instinct and hunches aren't too bad, man. I can tell you that right now. They're not too bad. They're not too bad. And like I said, I neither play the major media role or the alternative media role. And, you know, these guys in China and Russia running the show, they ain't good guys at all. I can tell you that right now. So, anyway, over and out. I probably should not put this out because, you know, it's going to give rise to a lot of speculation against the USA maybe. But I don't want people being against the United States because you're not seeing the whole freaking picture, damn it. They're not. They're not. And like I said, this is speculation. I don't know this, but I'm smelling something here. I may be wrong, though. I mean, I am not 110% sure of this because I don't have a factoid to go on, and I don't know where I'd find one from, and I'm not going to find one on the internet, that's for sure. But I'm kind of seeing who's benefiting by this the most. And So if you want a conspiracy, but as far as them trying to shoot down Vladimir Putin's plane or some crap, because he's New World Order, I don't know where the hell this alternative media comes from. Like they're out there from Mars or some crap with some of this stuff they put out. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is. Like I said, I'm pro-USA, but sometimes I wish I was on the planning board because I think I got better tricks up my sleeve, you know? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, over and out.